Hello viewers and welcome to your program Oraje Doing Business in Lagos. Have you noticed something on this program? Whenever I come on air, I'm always sweating. That shows you that Lagos is a busy place, and those that make good money in Lagos are busy people. Well, don't be deceived, I'm not making too much money, but I'm making enough money in Lagos. Welcome to the program. Today on the program we're talking about doing unusual business in Lagos. What is unusual business? Taking care of the dead, for instance. You ask, taking care of the dead? Yes. Undertakers, those that clean the dead, that ensure that they look good even till the last minute. Unusual business in Lagos. Welcome to Oraje Doing Business in Lagos with my colleagues Adetola Kayode and of course Tunde Laiwola. Today on the program we're going to be looking at those group of people. I'm right here in one of the shops. I want to see if I can. No, I'm not buying a casket. But come along with me as we do unusual business in Lagos. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. How's business?
Fine, thank you.
Profitable, I hope.
No, really.
Ah, really?
But we're grateful.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
So many business interests abound in Lagos and of course thriving. You only need to identify your passion and turn it into a business venture. But some are into an unusual kind of business which involves taking care of the dead. Who are these people? They are the Undertakers. What is undertaking and what does it take to be one?
I'm into the down business. I'm an undertaker. We try to make easy for people when they go. It takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of you know what you have to do, and it takes a lot of selfless service to be an undertaker.
The job for an undertaking, it entails somebody that takes care of the dead from the beginning to the end of the burial ceremony. That's the job of a funeral undertaker. That means arranging for the vault, embalming, if there's going to be PM, post-mortem, casket, pallbearers, decoration of any of lying in state, arranging for hearse, pallbearers, reed bearers, brass band, live band, digging of vaults, monumental. So it's from A to Z of funeral. That's the job of a funeral undertaker. You need a formal training because, like I mentioned earlier, you can see it has so many departments within it. So you need formal training. You either, basically in Nigeria, there is no school that takes care of that. Takes care of funeral undertaking, you know. But if you want to be one, you have to enroll in one of the funeral homes to go through the process of becoming a funeral undertaker.
What makes it a complete business and where do they source their raw materials from? How profitable is this business?
Business is not a profitable business. That the way people say it, they have a different aspect of funeral business because it's a kind of business that you don't make money and you think you keep the money somewhere, because for every year there's a new innovation you have to invest in. There's no, right now in Nigeria, I don't think there's any funeral undertaker that has that has everything, because you need to have a mortuary for you to have everything. You need to have a crematorium where you're going to cremate. You need to have a cemetery, and you need to have a showroom and other things that comes with it. So being profitable, you still, I'm sure if you all have everything, you still need to go borrowing from the bank. And if you're on that level, then I don't think the business you're only just going to be comfortable.
It's not a money-making business, but it's just a commitment to what you are doing, and that you'll be able to feed us. That's all. In some instances, we bring them in, but in a lot of cases, manufacture, because we have the resources here that can manufacture it. But sometimes we have to go a bit above to have it done, to have it made to please the family's request. You have to bring them in.
For them, it takes commitment, strong will, and determination to succeed in this kind of business.
You have to go the extra mile to be able to satisfy people's, or to be able to go on people's will. You have to go the extra mile because this is a thing that is very touchy, very painful, no matter how old the person is. So you have to really interpret it and make sure that it's hitch-free at all levels. So you have to punish yourself. Well, I punish myself by not sleeping, waking up all hours to make sure that things are done properly. Because to anybody, any remains, I don't know the remains, nobody knows the remains. It's an important person to the family. So you have to do everything possible to make sure that what you are doing goes along well with what the family wants.
My advice is, if they want to come into it, you should always have it. They're coming to render service, which they're probably not going to make that much of it from.
Hello, good day again, and welcome to Business Line on Oraje. My name is Deola Kayode. We talked about funding and financing your business idea. One of the first things I asked was whether your idea was valuable enough, or whether you believed in your idea enough to be able to invest yourself or your time or money in it before other people will be able to fund, or whether organization will be able to find funding for your business ideas. And number one source I said was to sell your assets if you had one. If it's powerful enough and you can't find any option, then if you have an asset, then you should be able to turn the asset into a source of financing for your business, because other people have done. I give examples. The second option is find friends and family who believe in your idea enough to be able to support you. The third example I said was government agencies that are established to be able to support entrepreneurs or smaller medium scale enterprises to be able to start your businesses onto a particular scale. And depending on the particular scale, there are different agencies that can help in supporting your business. And the fourth one I mentioned was partnership, or finding a co-founder. At times people do that, and that's a normal direction today for people that people have been able to use to be able to source financing for them. Another example, another aspect I want to mention is venture capitalists. There are organizations that are established globally, and some already established in Nigeria, to be able to support their aim is simple: to be able to support enterprises. There are some that are specific. There are some that are specific to technology industries. There are some that are specific to agriculture. There are some are just industry specific, and some are general. If you are able to convince them enough, you should be able to get funding for your business. And the final one I want to also mention is what I call venture capital, where depending on your character, depending on who you are, and there have been people who've been able to leverage on this a lot, that if you have a viable idea based on your pedigree, based on your past, you can approach certain organizations, people and industries, and you'll be able to get what you want based on your word or your worth or your pedigree on itself. Because there are times when people use what I called last week OPM, other people's money, to be able to fund business. And I was trying to explain very quickly before our time went out that you can approach an organization, buy, and sell using their own money, saying that, oh, I have people, if you can find a market for this particular good, then tell the organization who's supplying you, and that's an example for a supply industry, tell them that, oh, XYZ wants to buy your goods, they should supply and give you your own cut out of it. And there are people who have been able to build successful industries out of that. And I also mentioned about banks, people who approach banks, and I had mentioned that banking should be your last option, because there are certain things banks will look for, and right now it's been almost like trying to pass through the eye of a needle in getting funding out of banks, because banks will first want to establish whether you or your business idea is valuable, which would take us to next week, where I'll be dealing with business plans. They also want to check whether you have a collateral. Imagine if you have a collateral that is the value of your business, whether you can put it down in exchange for the amount in cost. Also, they will want to check your capacity to repay. They will check your credit history, whether you've borrowed money before. If you've borrowed money and returned before, your ability to be able to get funding rises like 30%, because they would also want to know whether this person is credible enough to be able to give funds to or not. They will also want to look at your management background and competence, where your venture capital also comes in. And finally, they will be looking at what I call a feasibility report, or your business plan, where your idea, which you have in your head, is on paper. Next week, we will be dealing with that. But then before then, you should send me your email, your comments, your questions. It doesn't matter the area of business, financing, sourcing, branding, strategy, marketing. You send us an email. We will be dealing extensively with it. 0815-9911-848. 0815-9911-848, or send me an email at oraj@lagostelevision.com. Till next week, we see you again. Have a great week. Bye.